In its first full season, Dirt Racing in the Bluegrass Live reached over 2 million people. Crazy if you think about it. We see this as more than just a podcast. It's a movement to bring the spotlight to the tracks, racers, and fans of Kentucky dirt racing. We've got a lot to talk about and a lot of people to talk to. This is Kentucky's Dirt Racing Podcast. Welcome to another edition of Dirt Racing in the Bluegrass Live, presented by Bluegrass Restoration and Construction.
And welcome into episode number 3 here already for the 2024 season on Dirt Racing in the Bluegrass Live, presented by Bluegrass Restoration and Construction. I'm Josh Chastain. I'm here with my good buddy Worldwide, Wes Lanham, once again. Man, good to be on here once again this evening. We've got an absolute jam-packed show. 3 tracks on here to do a season preview with tonight. So let's get to it.
Yeah, really looking forward to it, buddy. Good to be back on here with you tonight. And as you said, we got a jam-packed show, and really looking forward to hearing from all 3 of these tracks and talking about a little bit of what's going on right now in the dirt scene, and ready to have a good show with you, buddy.
Yeah, I know, man. That's like you said. This is actually going to be our final. This is going to be our final season preview show of the year. We've got these last 3 tracks here with Thunder Mountain 191 and Mountain Motor Complex to get to here this evening. So it's going to be a good show. A lot here to talk about, a lot to get to, and really looking forward to it. But man, first of all, I want to talk a little bit about something that I'm personally very excited about. It's been a long time coming. It's been in the works. We had it up and going. I worked my butt off on it, got it up, thought I had it in good shape, and then had to take it back down. And now I've got it back up to the point where we're definitely ready to roll with it now. But that is, as you can see here on this side of me, bluegrassdirtmerch.com, a brand new website, man. We for the longest time we talked about how cool it'd be just for us to be able to, with Dirt Racing in the Bluegrass, have a online place for people to easily be able to go on and order our shirts. And I kind of looked into it a little bit, and I realized that it just wasn't feasible for us to take on the cost of having an online store just for our stuff, because there'd be no way we could sell enough to have it make sense financially to have an online store just for us. So then I thought, I sent you a text, hey man, I've got this idea. What if we created a website and we just made an online store where everybody in the state can sell their merchandise? And
yeah.
You thought that was a great idea, and I think it is too, man. Like, I know so many ways, man. I order almost everything I do anymore online.
Yeah.
And why can't we do the same thing here in the state of Kentucky for dirt racing merchandise, where everybody can go to one place, find everything possible when it comes to dirt racing? Tracks, drivers, series, our stuff, everything. And like I said, I'm really excited about it. I think it's going to be a great thing. We just got to get everybody on board with it. And I'll be honest with you, man, there's no reason for anyone not to sell on this website.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why. I'm doing all the inventorying, all of it for you. I am doing all the work of putting everything, taking pictures, getting everything put on the website. There's a lot of work involved in that. I'm taking on all the costs, all of it, all the costs of having an online store. I'm taking on all the cost, doing all the advertising, and people are getting for their merchandise the same amount they get by selling it at the track. There's really no reason not to put your stuff on this website That's the reason I created it, because I thought, man, I want to see our drivers have opportunities to be able to sell their stuff online. Our tracks the same, to be able to sell to people that normally wouldn't even purchase their stuff. I don't want to take away from sales at the track, and I don't think this will. I just think it'll create new avenues and new opportunities for people to be able to drivers and series and tracks to be able to sell their stuff to people that they wouldn't be able to otherwise, because they're buying it on this online store. And like I said, I mean, they're all getting the same amount in their pockets for the stuff that they would be selling it at the track. The only thing I need is everyone's support, because I'll be honest with you, I kind of got to the point I was like, well, I don't know if I want to do this. This is a lot to take on. But I got so deep into it that, like, I couldn't turn back, to be honest with you.
No turning back.
Yeah, there was no turning back. But the only way this works is if everybody supports it, and all I ask is just please give me a shot, give me a chance, let me put your stuff on there, because I really want this to work. Because here's how I see this. You know, a lot of times we talk about national stuff and this working and this is going on there. My question is, why can't it happen at the local level? And why can't we get to the point to where people that normally wouldn't have an opportunity to sell merchandise, I'm talking about drivers who normally, you know, because they don't have the ability to set up a table or a trailer, bring a trailer to the racetrack to get in front of fans, people like that have an opportunity to sell merchandise and make money for their race teams that normally otherwise wouldn't be able to. I think it's a really cool opportunity and possibility. I don't know if it'll work, but we got to find out, because I can't turn back now, and I really think it can work and can be a great thing for our sport.
Well, I definitely do. You sent me the text, said, hey, I got this idea, and I was like, yeah, let's go. Let's run with it. I think it's great. I think it's only going to be in our best interest to help us all. Like, you know, we're going to be able to sell track shirts, series shirts, driver shirts, our shirts. Our fans are going to be able to go on there and look and say, well, I want to buy one of the Dirt Racing and the Bluegrass shirts, and then, oh, there's a Michael Chilton shirt. I want to buy one of his too. You know, that scenario is going to happen. So I think it's a win-win. I think it's great. Reach out to myself or Josh if you all want to get on board, and we'll definitely get in touch with you and sell your all's merchandise, hats, shirts, hoodies, whatever. You know, we will sell that and get that out there. And I think it's definitely a cool deal. I mean, Bluegrass Dirt merch. I mean, the title, the name says it all. So I think it's awesome idea, and I definitely think it'll work.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, it's just it's definitely a good idea. It's definitely something that could work. Like I said, I mean, it's just another way to me for, you know, because I mean, everybody in this sport involved can use another avenue to bring in income. It's expensive a thing to do, whether you're running a racetrack or a series or you have a race car or you're part of a race team. And I think any way that we can find to bring in a new stream of income that we didn't have before, you know, it's a really good thing. Like I said, I mean, I've set up the pricing strategy on this thing where, to be honest with you, I'm just being completely honest. There's no avenue for money for me, right, on all this other stuff. Like, literally, I was talking to someone the other day and said, well, are you sure that's enough money, like, for everything you're going to be doing? I'm like, no, it's really not. I mean, honest to goodness, I'd have to say, I'm really stupid for doing this, to be honest with you, on my end, because I'd have to sell like 1,000 T-shirts to like pay for it, right? Like to get to the point to where any money on the other merchandise is being sold. But where it helps us is if we get to the point to where we're selling more merchandise for the dirt racing and the bluegrass stuff, and then and then everybody wins. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on that. Business wise, not a very smart decision on my end, but for the sport, I think it could be a really good thing, and to me, it would be worth it. in that sense. All the trouble. Just hope we can get there. Honestly, my hope is with it that we can get to the point to where it's at least paying for itself, and like we can make it work and make it happen, and all what I just talked about with bringing in money for race teams, racetracks, and everybody else. That would be awesome.
Yeah, and I think it's cool. It's a cool way to kind of track our inventory and look at that as well, and let people know what sizes we have available. And it just gives everybody another route to purchase those type items, other than seeing you or I at the racetrack. And we've got those shirts, our shirts right now available. If you see us at the track, we've got them in gray and black. And we've already sold several of those that way, and then sold some on the website as well. So I think it's a great idea. Maybe not business wise, but business wise for the sport of dirt racing in our state, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely is. Kind of waiting here. We're waiting on Lori Barton, supposed to be jumping on with us from Thunder Mountain Speedway. I know they just opened up their season this past week, and there she is. I see her now in the background. I knew she would show up, Wes. I knew we could count on her, and so let's go ahead and bring her on here. With us right on time, Lori, here on the show. Very good to have you on. I appreciate you hopping on here with us.
I appreciate you all inviting us.
Yeah.
I was actually watching on Thunder Mountain page, and the invite came to my personal account, so I was like, a little bit.
I got you. Yeah, that's no problem at all. We've got to. I've said this to everybody we've had on here this year. We've got several tracks that we decided to change things up a little bit. We're trying to, on the podcast this year, cover as many tracks as we possibly can. I feel like that's something that's just better for everybody if we can reach this whole fan base here in the state. But as a result, we've had several to bring on for these season previews, so we've had to shorten our time quite a bit and try to get as much information as we can in a short amount of time. So we've got about 10 minutes here with you. I wanted to talk to you. First of all, you guys opened up your season. We couldn't get to you in time, couldn't work it out with the schedule. You've already opened up your season up there on the mountain. Had a good show this past Saturday night.
Yeah, we really did. Really better than what we had expected. Of course, we always hope for a lot, but
sure.
The track was in pretty good condition. It got a little bit slick on us, which from what Dennis says, that's kind of, it's still cold out. We started early when the sun was still out, just trying to beat the cold. Mm-hmm. And that part of it worked out well. It didn't, it was cold by all means, but it wasn't freezing. Sure. We actually played softball the week before, and it was colder playing softball during the day than it was that night. So,
yeah.
But yeah, we had a decent car turnout. Our fan base was good. Of course, a ton of them didn't come in until feature time. But they just kept rolling in. When the features were starting, we were looking out there and said, man, there's still cars rolling in. So that's always a good thing to see.
Yeah. That's it's good for
the
sure.
Show went completely smooth from start to finish. I don't think we had any hiccups that we were aware of, which was a positive because everybody knows, last year we had some hiccups, growing pains. One of my guys actually sent me a message after the race and said, I guess everything we went through last year paid off because I think we got it figured out. So we were literally closing the show out at 9:25.
That's awesome.
You can't promise that's going to happen every time. We also started an hour early, but that was a positive, and we got a lot of positive feedback for that. Dennis and I have talked about it a lot. We were always the kind of racers, we didn't care. If we were there until 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, we didn't care. But being in this industry now and going to a lot of seminars and things like that, they really preach trying to get out early. People want to get out and go home. Yeah. And
Yeah.
us being a little older now, it kind of helps to get out a little early too. But
Well,
there's always things that come up, that
yeah.
nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
But we are going to try our best. We shortened. Actually, we didn't even have an intermission last Saturday. Again, the reason being the cold weather.
Sure.
And we probably will have some short intermissions. We actually are going to try to do our junior front wheel drive classes at the very beginning of intermission, every race that we have, and get those younger boys and girls out there to, get some laps down on the track and stuff. And we didn't have a whole lot showed up for it last year. There was 3, 4, 5 cars out there, but that's 3, 4, or 5 new racers,
Yeah, young racers.
They don't want to get out there on the track with the more experienced ones until they're comfortable. So, we're hoping to do that. Like I said, with every race this year.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a really good thing. I mean, honestly, it is. And but yeah, what you were talking about there just a second ago, and Wes, we got on some soapboxes last week. We took a little bit more time than we should, and I don't want to get on a soapbox this week, so I want to be careful. But I mean, I'm telling you, I think if there's one thing, and a lot of this, part of this is, a lot of what you see on social media, sometimes I think you can't pay a whole lot of attention to it, because sometimes people are just loud on social media and always have something to say. But the one thing that I hear consistently from people, we talk to a lot of people, fans, drivers, people in our sport, is one thing that's needed is for tracks to put on a show and move it along and get people in and get people out. Our society, whether you like it, love it, hate it, whatever, is different. It just is.
It is.
My kid's different. My family is different. I mean, I talk to people all the time that say, "Man, I tell you, I would go more if we weren't there all night. I can't stay up that late." And I think it's one of those things that's tough, because it's one of those things you're not necessarily going to see the fruits of the results of it now. But I think if our track's committed to and I'm not complaining. You guys do the best job you possibly can, but made just an emphasis on whatever we can do, however we can do it to get people in and out earlier. I think a year, 2 down the road, it would make a difference on fan attendance and even maybe driver attendance. I really do think it's a very important thing. So I agree with what you were saying there, and I think it's so important. I really do.
And I think it's more so for the fans, because like I said, from a driver's point of view, we never cared how late we were there. We were there to race. It didn't matter. But when you're sitting up there in the stands and there's downtime and all that, you're just kind of twiddling your thumbs, and I get it. I do. Yeah. So we are going to try our best. Again, there's no promises.
Right.
And to say we're going to be out at 9:30 every race is not going to happen.
Yeah, sure.
Especially once it gets hotter out. We can't start.
Oh yeah.
Talk,
right.
So there's that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I think a lot of the fans may not even realize that the reasoning for that is because of track prep.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You can't do all that and have the sun beating down on it and dry it out before the races start, because then you're going to have another complaint. It's going to be the track suck.
You're right. Yeah.
What do you do?
Oh yeah. No, you're right about that.
I mean, that's one of those deals. Early this year with the weather and colder temperatures, a lot of fans and as Josh said, we've talked to a lot of people, and they're so tickled that early on, like your show and then the shows at Florence, they've been, quick. You got out of there early at a good hour, and
I think Brandon's starting this Saturday I believe I saw 6 o'clock, so he's moved his back an hour.
I think so.
To try to move it along. So
yeah.
we'll all do it as long as we can, I'm sure. But like I said, once we get to the summer heat, we're not going to be able to start that early. So
and there's some tracks you can't start the racing program until the sun goes down, because you do, and the track's gone in hot laps qualifying. So
absolutely.
I mean, but I'm kind of like you. I'm old school. I mean, that's Josh. It don't matter what time we leave. I could stay all night, but I know there's other people and fans and families that they want to get in, watch the show, and get home. I'm happy to be there.
Yeah, but look,
early, we're going to sit and talk half the night, right?
99% of people though are not Worldwide Wes Lanham.
Right.
I mean,
True.
it's Wes, I don't care if it's over at 2 a.m. He will still you will have to shut the gates on him to get him to leave. That's just the way it is. But yeah, that's and love him for it. There's no one like him, and that's why we love him and wouldn't have it any other way, for sure. But let's talk about the upcoming season coming up here at Thunder Mountain. Let's hit the schedule. Just hit the highlights, the big stuff, and tell everybody where they can find information. We'll go over that as well.
Okay,
too.
we've got, of course, this year we've got, we'll do each class. They do their own thing. Last week was the hobby stocks, 1,000 to win, 100 to start. On the 27th is our next race, and it's going to be the front wheel drives. Same thing, $1,000 to win, 100 to start. And then the next week we've got a special for the crates. It'll be 2,000 to win, 200 to start. It's most of ours are every 2 weeks. The next race we have will be the open wheels, 2,000 to win, 200 to start. And then we'll kind of start back over and run them again. And then, of course, we've got for the first time, we're going to have the supers on the track this year. We're pretty excited about that. Had a lot of people, come on, when you put the supers out there. And
Yeah.
Of course, it's a little stressful because we've never done it. And
Sure.
we're hoping for the best we can get out of it. And that is on the June 29th, I believe. It's following, or the day before Rock Castle, I believe. I didn't go over this before I talked to you, but I think
It's the Friday before the Tommy Lanham Memorial there.
Right, I think
at
ours
Rock
is
Castle.
Friday, and
I
theirs
think
is on
it's-
Saturday. So hopefully the
Yeah.
drivers will be right here, and we're so hopefully both tracks can get all the cars.
Yeah.
It's the Heart of America Super Late Model Series, for those of you that didn't know.
Yeah.
And we've got, you're talking about how to get to our schedule stuff. Right now, we've got Facebook, of course. I've actually got a website that I've been working on with a guy that is getting that together, and I've been sending him information this week. So we're hoping to have that up and going in the next couple of weeks, and we'll have everything on there. That, of course, will be very helpful. We've not done it up to this point. We've had a couple of people start it, and then they just never finished it or anything. And when it comes to that kind of stuff, I'm out.
Yeah.
You ask me what you need, and I'll do my best to get it to you.
Yeah.
But that's as far as that goes.
Yeah.
And what else? We've got still got some sponsorship opportunities available. Anybody that's interested, you can shoot me a message on Facebook, call me, text, whatever. I've got packets where I can send all that over to anybody that wants to get on some banners and things like that. We're also doing where they can sponsor, like I've got a company that's sponsoring our feature races at the next race.
Okay.
I hear my husband coming in. He's late.
Yeah.
Imagine that, right? Oh, honey, come say hello. Trapped you, yeah. I told him, I said, you be here by 8 o'clock. He said, love you, babe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Scoot down where they can see you.
We all know he's not excited about being on camera anyway. So
He's not much for the public eye. I mean,
Yeah, there he is.
but he doesn't want to be in the public eye. Let's put it that way.
there's the man himself. Yeah, responsible. Yeah, doing good, man.
Doing
Yeah,
good.
for sure.
He'd rather be behind the helmet and the visor down.
There
And
you go.
that way nobody can see him.
I can't wait to start racing a little bit this year.
Yeah,
Good.
good. Yeah, that is that's a good thing for sure. So yeah, man, it's good to have you all on here. I'm glad you showed up, Dennis, and yeah, just in time. Lori's already, she's got all the work done, but we know Dennis will be out there at that racetrack making sure the show's being put on for all the fans. So.
Better
We're
late
talking
than
about
never.
merchandise. That's actually where he's been.
Oh,
We
okay.
went to pay for some. We've ordered some new T-shirts and hoodies.
Okay.
We will have those by the next race,
Oh, good.
and they're sharp. I've seen the little thingy. They again not
Yeah,
very technical savvy here,
The
but
proof. Yeah.
Yeah.
proof. There you go. And he just met up with them to give him some money to get them printed. So, and
Good
then
deal.
those will also be available at
Awesome.
your all's place.
So yeah, Lori and Dennis were the first ones to say, absolutely, we'll work with you and give you the merchandise, let you sell it. Like I said, I mean that whole thing is such a win for everyone. I mean, you get another opportunity, another place to be able to sell your merchandise. You get the same amount you'd get for it at the racetrack. So we appreciate you jumping on board with that.
We always appreciate you guys for sure.
Absolutely.
You want to give them a shout out, whoever's making you shirts?
Yes, it's Graphic Impressions. Is that the
Oh,
name?
okay. Billy Moore, yeah.
Yeah.
So, same one, same.
Billy made our shirts. Yeah.
Good deal. Yeah.
We did our racing shirts years ago. We had some made when we first started racing and did a fantastic job on them. So
Billy does a great job.
He
He
really
absolutely does. Yeah.
really nice guy, and he actually met us in London instead of making us go all the way up to his place. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Good deal.
Well, he's good. He's good with all that stuff. Great to work with. If you need anything like that done, man, get a hold of Billy over there at Graphic Impressions. He did a great job on our stuff as well. Well, guys, we hate to rush and hate to eat and run, but we got a lot to get to here and a lot to talk about. We appreciate you guys, your support, everything you do to help us. Can't wait to be up there. If all goes as planned, I'll be up there on the mountain the next race, and can't wait for it.
I
So
look forward
yeah.
to seeing you. I'll make sure and holler at us before you get there, and
Yeah.
we'll sneak you on in.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan. Yeah, we'll do it for sure. You all have a good evening.
All
Thank
right.
you so
Good.
much.
Thank
you all. See you.
Bye.
All right, Dennis and Lori Barton there with Thunder Mountain Speedway. I forgot to mention at the start of the show, Wes, this is the Wilson Plumbing Studio. Got started talking about everything else. Did talk about bluegrass restoration and construction, but you can call the Absolute Seamless Gutters hotline. It's 859-412-1287. Gotta talk fast here, we got the studio, we got the hotline. We've got so much to get to on this show. We're not going to be answering calls, but you can call the hotline. It'll just go to the voicemail. We'll get to those coming up on future shows. Like I said, we're finished with these season previews. Wanted to get to them, but it's a lot going on here. Anyways,
we got a good number on here. I didn't mention it earlier. We got going, but share this out. We appreciate the viewership and just a awesome deal to get to talk to Thunder Mountain Speedway, 191, and Mountain Motor Complex. So just a cool show we've got here. So just share this out.
It is, yes. Please do let your friends know that we're on here. Well, let's just keep on rolling right along, and we'll bring on Norval Collinsworth, the owner at 191 Speedway. I forgot to mention this as well there just a moment ago, but the guest segment is brought to you by Fast Track Plumbing, our good friends Calvin Carlton and the gang up at Fast Track Plumbing. They'll take care of all your plumbing needs. If you've got a clogged drain line, a clogged toilet, need a water line repair, or anything else related to the plumbing business, the Fast Track Plumbing will certainly take care of you. So give them a call, reach out to them. Let them know Dirt Racing and the Bluegrass Live sent you. Norval, it's good to have you back on here. We talked to you last year. It was kind of toward the end of the year, honestly. You all got going with everything over there at the Speedway. Got a lot of work done, opened back up. I know you've been doing some improvements and stuff during the off season up there at the track as well.
Yes, sir. That's we was fortunate enough to get opened up last year, and we had a couple races, and I didn't want to overdo it, but
Yeah.
I was, it was getting cold, but we done really good. We had a good crowd every weekend. We had a lot of really great drivers, cars, everything there. Everything went pretty well. I mean,
Good.
Considering me not knowing how to, run a racetrack, I talked to everybody, that had owned a racetrack from now to the 80s.
Yeah.
And, just ask their insights and stuff like that. It helped.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Good.
And, last year, I kind of had a list at the house wrote down what I was going to kind of go over, and I forgot it. I forgot my sister. But
all right.
I feel that for never running the racetrack and stuff, we done pretty decent last year, and the track was decent, but we worked on 1 and 2 turns, and it kind of got rough a little bit. Wasn't too bad, but the second race was a lot better than the first one because we went in and raised the middle of the track like 2 foot between 1 and 2, and field number 2 turn with probably a couple foot of dirt too.
Sure.
The second weekend, everything went a lot better. I think that they said they clocked the transponder. The lady that's running the transponder said that they clocked Derek Fisher at the flag stand. This is just what I've been told. 123 mile an hour.
Yeah,
that's
good.
He had her dialed in.
Yeah. That's moving at that place for sure. And well, I imagine anytime you do something like that, going from the first to the second race, you're going to see big improvements as you go into the off season and make more improvements and changes and things and learn more things and talk to more people. It's only going to get better from here. So I'm sure you're excited about the new season that's coming up very quickly as well.
Yeah, yes, sir. That's we last year we had to use porta potties. We was fighting with that, and where we got started late in the season, they already had their porta potties rented out for like October court day and stuff like that. So they had to come get them and take them there because they was already promised. So that knocked me in the head right there a little bit. And so this year I've got bathrooms. They're still under construction a little bit, but we're working every day that it's not pouring the rain to get them finished and everything. And there was a local drag strip that currently went out of business. And I'd appreciate Tim Baldridge. He made a really, really good deal on me, he made a really, really good deal to me for the bleachers and the lights and the PA system and handhelds and speakers, all that stuff, stuff that I really could use at the drag strip. And so everything's coming together, it's just kind of a little bit at a time.
Yeah. Well, that's a big help for sure, running into that opportunity there to purchase some equipment. Unfortunate for the drag strip shutting down, but at least it's going to be put to good use.
Yeah, well, I think mainly what it is, he's just wanting to retire out. He's retired 2 or 3 times. Yeah. And, it's time for, he wants to kind of enjoy life a little bit and do what he wants to do and not have so much responsibility on his plate at one time. Yeah. But he's a really, really nice fella. Helped me do anything, anything that I needed. He is right there. But my brain went blank.
Oh, you're good. It's a good thing. And I saw here just recently you had an issue there in the infield with a drain getting clogged. It looked like the racetrack almost turned into a catfishing lake. So did you get that? Did you get that taken care of? Is it? Are you still working on it?
Now we got her lined out. I probably still need to take and snake a cable through it and kind of put a tire on it and drag it out. I planned on doing that already, but kind of everything been so rushed here lately, I hadn't had time to. But Jason Akers, one of my really good buddies, he lives in Hazel Green. He's got one of them underground bore machines where they run water line, and he brought it up and we stuck it at the bottom of the pipe. Okay. And I measured it's 450 feet to the first drain in the middle of the track. Dang, so that's and he had 360 foot of drill steel. That's. Yeah, I was nervous. So we got to the last 2 pieces, and I went up on top of the hill and I called everybody and their brother to see if they had any drill steel, and I couldn't find none. So we come back and he run them other 2 pieces in there, and thank God he hit the blockage, and he pulled it out. He said I think I drilled to the side of your culvert, and I said here's what it is. I said we'll pull it out. We'll try to figure something else out. Pulled it out and started seeing muddy water run out, and and started getting faster and faster. And finally the creek filled up. So he put the drill steel back in, the rest of it back in, and just, kept drilling while the water was rolling. And man, if it wasn't for him, I'd probably be sitting there twiddling my thumbs right now. He was, it's really good to have great friends.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, good.
But we got it drained out, and I took the tractor and stuff around it and worked the track up itself. It's a little wet in the middle still yet, but if everything, the weather holds out and everything, we're going to try to have a practice this Sunday. We was planning to practice this on Saturday, but I try to give it a little bit more time to get everything in the middle dried out.
Yeah.
But hopefully it's a really fast track this year, because it's really smooth. I went out there and set the grader down. I went out there and I graded, and I about 50 foot, and I got my blade adjusted, and I didn't didn't have to touch a lever on it until I got to the very bottom. I just kept working my dirt, and
cool.
and it should be good. I'm tickled to death. I had a buddy or two come brought their car up on it and played on it a little bit, and because in 1 and 2 turns there's a wet spot coming in it last year, and luckily it dried up, but it come back this winter, and so there's a coal seam in there, and I think it come up through that coal seam. So I went in there, and my buddy brought his excavator over, and we dug 2 trenches in it and put some tile pipe in it and covered it back over and filled it up full of dirt and walked it in, and kept putting dirt on it and walking it down with the water truck. And so it's pretty good shape now. It's just a work in progress. I think we're going to have a really, really good year of racing. I'm tickled and kind of, nervous all at the same time.
Yeah, I imagine you would be. I could see that for sure, and I'm sure it'll be great, and all the hard work will pay off up there, no doubt. Well, tell us. I've said this to everybody. We got so fortunate to be able to have all of you guys on here and get all you racetracks on here. We appreciate you all so much. I do want to make sure while we've got you on here real quick, let's just talk about the schedule highlights. Talk about just the big things you've got going on. We don't have time to necessarily go through them all, but let's talk about the some of the events you've got coming up there at the racetrack this year. I know you've got the Super Stock Series coming a few times at least, and some other things going on. So tell us about it.
We've we got May 18th. We got the first Super Stock race with Alan Tilley, and then I think it's was it 2,500 to win or 1,500 to win? I'm sorry, I can't remember. That's I got my sister and my brother-in-law and all them help me, because I'm a real good grunt.
I understand. I understand that for sure.
My brain it works on like 30%. I have to have somebody else help me remember everything.
That's pretty good though, 30%.
Well, sometimes depends on what the wife wanted me to remember.
Yeah.
Then June 8th, my Uncle Kenny, when I bought the racetrack back in, I think 2010, my Uncle Kenny, he had a heart attack and passed away up at the track. So we're having a 4-cylinder race. Kenny King Memorial is what I called it. And it's 4 cylinders.
Okay.
I really don't know how much that we discussed it's going to be. But it'll be more than a normal 4-cylinder race. It'll probably be $800 or $1,000 or something.
Okay. Yeah.
But then July 6th there'll be a fan appreciation night, and a race, and then it goes August 17th will be another Super Stock Series. And in the middle of that somewhere, I'm going to put a sport mod race in there, because I did leave that out on accident. We had it wrote down, but it just didn't get posted in our schedule. But then August 31st will be the Wentz Mayab Memorial.
Mm-hmm.
The guy that had the dreams of owning his own track and building it and that's if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have it.
Sure.
That's I remember him and my Uncle Kenny talking about him having a racetrack whenever I was just a little kid at the house.
Yeah.
And I'd ride around with my uncle every now and then. And he'd stop over there and went to talk about it. And I always wanted his own racetrack, and he built it. Took a couple 2-3 years. They moved a whole lot of dirt.
Yeah.
If a person just sits up there, and looks at all the dirt that they moved, I did, because when I made the track bigger, I spent a whole lot of money, and I just looked at how much they had spent getting that track to where it's at, today, and that's kudos to them. And it's but this will be the Winston May Memorial. It's be an open wheel modified race.
Okay.
Because they always run modifieds. I kind of thought that it'd be just a really good something for the modifieds, because that Wentz liked them so good. And September 21st will be our Southern All Stars race for the Super Late models. That'll and it said subject to change due to weather, because it's in September, I guess.
Sure.
But hopefully, me and Dwayne, we've talked. Dwayne Keith, Dwayne Keith. We've talked a few times, and he's a really nice fella, and we're really excited to have him. Have everybody come to the track. We didn't do a whole lot this year because I'll be honest with you. I mean, I had a couple races last year, but that's probably not going to prepare me for everything that's going to happen this year. And I just kind of want to get do what I can for the racers and the fans, and just try to build up enough money so I can make the track and the facility and everything else better. It's a whole lot, but we're working to make it all better.
You'll get there, man. I have no doubt about it, and you're already doing great things, and I know you put a lot of work and stuff into the place, and no doubt you'll get there. I want to make sure we do cover this real quick too, though. Talking about the schedule, when is your opening night?
Well, our opening night will be April 27th. I waited until everybody else come out with their schedules, and then so I wouldn't schedule nothing on their races or anything like that. And the guy that's running Mountain Motor Complex, I forgot his name, Donnie. He called me. Me and him, we talked. He's a really nice fella.
Sure.
We didn't. He's just making sure I wasn't running Friday, so he didn't schedule nothing on mine. He's really nice and respectful.
Sure.
And I try to, wait on everybody else, and so I didn't schedule nothing over them on them, because I didn't want nobody to feel I was trying to, be a peckerhead.
I get it, and I don't think anybody would feel that way for sure. And but I understand that. I understand that as well. You guys, I do think it's important for tracks to win and where possible, because it's not always going to be, but to work together and try to be considerate of each other. So.
Yes,
it's definitely a good thing to not be a peckerhead in that situation, I guess. So,
I just come out. I'm sorry.
It's all good. But like I said, we do appreciate you for joining us on here this evening. We're moving so fast. Wes ain't even got time to talk. I'm
sorry, Wes.
Hey, listen, it's all good.
Yeah. So
don't do that one thing again.
It ain't your fault at all. It's just time constraints, I guess you might call it.
It's Josh's fault. He put a 10-minute time restraint on everybody.
Well, my studio's next to my little boy.
2 minutes.
Well, my studio's next to my little boy's room. It's my wife's fault. She said I couldn't stay on here all night anymore. So that's where we're at. I'm just following rules, Wes. So
I understand. I'm the same way. But somebody told me I was henpecked once. I said no. I just got hen house ways.
Hey man, I like it. That's exactly right. So, but best luck to you. We'll be up there to see you at some point this year for sure.
Well,
and
y'all decide to come up. We'll stick you up there with Joker in the announcer's booth, and everybody can chime in, and
yeah,
we can y'all can give everybody a good laugh.
Yeah, we'll make it entertaining at least.
That's,
so,
yeah, that's all
we
that
can do
matters.
that.
And I've never
And,
been to 191. Looking forward to making my first trip up there sometime this year. So,
well, yeah, that'd be great. You just tell us, tell the people at the bottom of the hill, and they'll radio me, and we'll ride you around the golf cart, and we'll be security or something until the race starts.
sounds good.
That sounds scary. Sounds scary. Thank you, Norval. We appreciate you, buddy.
Hey, I appreciate y'all. Thank you much. If y'all need anything, just give me a holler.
We'll do it, man.
All
See
right.
you, buddy.
Thanks, buddy. Good luck this year.
All right, moving right along. We do need to take a quick commercial break here, and in just a moment we're going to bring on Donnie Adams from Mountain Motor Complex here on Dirt Racing and Bluegrass Live. We'll be right back here in just a minute.
Hi, I'm Chris Lowry with Bluegrass Restoration and Construction. From simple service work to full paints, roofing, flooring, and everything in between, we're your one-stop shop for your home maintenance and remodeling needs. Our family has been serving the Richmond area for 3 generations, and we're proud to continue that today. You also voted us the best general contractor in Madison County in 2022. We thank you for that honor. Give us a call for all your construction needs at 859-353-1133.
And welcome back to the Wilson Plumbing Studio. Be sure to give our buddy Robbie Wilson over there a call. Wes, he's a good dude, and he'll take care of you for all your plumbing needs. As I said earlier, all the different plumbing issues, he can take care of all of them. If you've got a racetrack and you've got a drain in the middle of it, and you need to run 350 foot to 400 foot of something to try to get it unplugged, he can probably take care of that too. And this is another, man, we've got guest segment after guest segment after guest segment. I tell you what, it's kind of crazy. We just hit the highest viewership we've had all year by having all 3 of these racetracks on here with us. I think it got to the highest point. I'm sure Mountain Motor Complex, Donnie Adams, probably had a little bit of something to do with that. Those people love their dirt racing, and so Donnie, we've not had you on here before this year, but it's really good to have you on here. You reached out to us, and we appreciate you for doing so, because we definitely want to get all of our racetracks on here and talk to all of you guys.
Boom, boom, boom. I got to give you all my slogan, boy. That's what I say every time I open up a video. Man, I appreciate y'all having me out here, guys. I look forward to being a part of this, and super excited, man, for this year of racing right here in the Kentucky Bluegrass State.
Yes, ready
glad to have you.
Yeah, we actually talked about that, Wes, because of his videos, man. Love watching them. I watch every one I can just because they're entertaining. You always open it up that same way. You've got the same hat on you've got on tonight.
Yes,
I was thinking, man, if he shows up and he don't have that hat on, it just ain't gonna be the same. So
it'll blind everybody in the viewing area, brother. My bald head. I'm taller than my hairline, man. If you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah, well, glad you've got the hat on there. We'll take that. So, you've had the racetrack there. You've been running it for the last couple of years. I think this is your second year, right? Going into
yes, sir. This is starting my second year. We got everything. I got it after the flood, man. After the big July 28th flood. I'm sure everybody remembers that crazy day. But yeah, man, we took it over. I didn't get it that day. It took a few months of everything getting lined out, but man. Super excited. Done a lot of changing this year. I don't know if y'all have noticed or whatnot, man, but we put some banking back in that old gas, and I'm ready to see what kind of race we can get out there, that old track.
Yeah, it's. I have noticed you've been doing a whole lot of work up there, and I've been to Mountain Motor Speedway. It's been several years since I've been there. It was closed down for a while, and then Lucky 7 was down the road and went there. I was younger when I went to Mountain Motor, so it's been several years ago. Don't even hardly remember it, to be honest with you, very well, anyways. But you had a lot of work to do there, talking about the flood and everything that went on with that, and then just overall the track. You've put a lot of work and effort into it. I'm sure you're starting to see. Racing's big though in that part of our state, and so I'm sure you've seen a lot of your hard work pay off for you over there too.
Well, I hope so, man, because I'm trying to make us I'm trying to get my racers a better surface to race on. I don't we call it catfishing, bottom dwellers. Everybody down on the bottom looking for the low line. I'm trying to bring that line up to the middle, man, to make it more of a racing track and just give a better racing experience. You know what I mean? Just because that place, like you said, it's been there since back in the 60s, man. I don't know exactly, but I think Kim Magger's on here, the owner of the place. She can tell us what year that thing was in there. It's been there a long time, my friend.
It's been there. Yeah, it's been there for a long time for sure. So you changed it when you took over. You changed. It was Mountain Motor Speedway for years. Someone told me. I don't even remember who it was, but I was talking to somebody. I said Mountain Motor Speedway. I said I don't call it Mountain Motor Speedway. It ain't Mountain Motor Speedway. You was there too, Wes. I think
I was there. Yeah, said they corrected you right quick. Said Mountain Motor Complex.
Yeah,
it ain't Speedway no more.
Yeah. So what's the reason behind that? What's the reason for the change?
Long story short, man, I'm a dirt bike guy. I've promoted. I've had facilities all over the East Coast, built tracks and stuff. But I like to do more than one thing, to say the least. You know what I mean? We got a drag strip on the property. We have an MX track now. We're doing our dirt car thing, and I've also kind of dabbled into the go-kart side of it. So I didn't want to just go with a speedway because of the drag strip, the motocross track, and et cetera, et cetera. But long story short, man, I felt like there's a need for a change, and not to go away from the origin of the track, what that place is, Mountain Motor. Everybody knows Mountain Motor. You know what I mean? So I try to, and a lot of people have a bad taste in their mouth for that place, man. So I'm trying to reverse that. Sure. And by all means, I'm not making all the right moves, but I'm learning every time I go out there. You can bank on that, my friend. Like Norwell said, man, 191 right there, we learn all the time, my guys. We learn all the time, man. I'm fighting the same thing he is with my pipes right now. I had to get my buddy come out there and clean my pipes.
Yeah.
And
I'm going to say this: it's good that you guys are working together. That means a lot. And we're seeing that more and more, and that's great. If you can work together, that's just going to be better for everybody involved.
Yes, sir. So it ain't a pissing contest, man.
Right.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Exactly.
It doesn't need to be, for sure. Unfortunately, that's something that we've seen a whole lot, in the past, just, here, locally and in the region. And that's the part of it. Look, I mean, I say this all the time. I've actually heard people repeat this back to me, which kind of makes me proud, to be honest with you. Because someone told me one time, hey, when people start saying something back to you, they're listening. But Walmart is not going to shut down for Target. It's just not possible. Racetracks are not always going to be able to work around racing against each other on the same night. But when possible, when they can work together and just not, like you said, get into a pissing match, that's a great thing for everybody.
Yes, sir. And see, me being Friday, it kind of gives me kind of a little niche thing right there. For whatever reason, man, this track works better on Friday, man. I tried a couple Saturdays. Don't get me wrong. They were later in the year. I understand this. You know what I mean? But for whatever reason, my track's a Friday night track, man. And I'm okay with it, man. It gives me a good thing. It gives me 2 other days to do something else.
Yeah. Because I'll be honest, I know a lot of tracks around here in Central Kentucky. I just know, like, over the last couple of years, have tried it, and
Friday's not good.
It hasn't worked. So to hear that it works for you, that's a great thing.
I'll tell you what, them old boys, they'll show up at 1 o'clock and walk up on the hill and get their spot on Fridays, my friend. I see it all the time. It's really cool. I shouldn't say boys and women, men and women. They'll get right up there. They'll get their spot. They know exactly where they want to be on that hill.
Yeah, that's cool. That's awesome. Yeah.
But I'm glad to see Friday work for you. And that's good for everybody, too, because they can come run with you on Friday night and go somewhere else and race on Saturday night. So, I mean, that's a great option to have.
I think so, too. And there's a lot of tracks close enough for that little bit of a drive. You know what I mean? And I've been trying to get done. I heard y'all talk about that with Norwell earlier, or I think it was a lady from Thunder Mountain, talking about getting done at a decent time, man. I'm trying to get them out of there by about 11:45, 12 o'clock was my latest last year, man. You know what I mean? I know before they said they've seen the sun come up there, and I don't want that to happen, man.
Yeah. You don't. But yeah, it's important for sure. And some places are different than others. Some tracks are different than others. I mean, because we're talking about that. I mean, honestly, it wasn't that long ago that it was like the norm, right?
Agreed.
I mean, you go to the racetrack and wake and leave there the next morning. It's like it's just normal part of life. Not so much in most places these days, and so it's definitely something that's important. But let's talk about the highlights of your schedule. And start with the whatever event you've got coming up next. Let's talk about the highlights of it for sure, and then tell everybody where they can find the information.
Mainly on my Facebook right now, man. You can go to Mountain Motor Complex Facebook. You can put it on there, and I do a lot of videos. Like he said earlier, man, I do a lot of videos. So I try to keep you up to date, and I do put out schedules and stuff. Hoping to start Friday, weather permitting, man. You know what I mean? This rain in March, or April, I'm sorry, is April. I said March all week long, and April is something else. That's all I'll say. I'm being nice when I say that.
It's tough.
If I don't get to do it Friday, I thought about pushing it Saturday, but there's too much stuff going on. Willard's racing, and I saw Lake Cumberland, they got a big American crate. I don't want to go on top of them. So still up in the air about Friday. Still want to do it. My first the crate series will be May 3rd. May 3rd right here, man. I think it's a 5K to win. I don't know that. I wish I had that in front of me. I do apologize about that. Got some races with Alan Tilley. I think they're May 17th. I don't know the number on that one as well. Super unprepared. But what I am doing this year, I'll go ahead and tell you this. Every other week, I'm having a race, man. So that way, and I'm trying to base it like on the 1st and the 15th, man. So it kind of helps me get my dates out there. So every other week, and if we get rained out, all I'm gonna do is push it to the next week. A lot of people say they want me to run every week, man, but that's a lot of work for the same amount of people. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm trying just to get an every other week type deal.
Gotcha.
August 16th is our Tim Breeden Super Late Model, 5,000 to win, 500 to start. I'm working on getting it bigger than that, man. Tim Breeden was a big deal in right down here in this little Isom community where this track's located, man. And he had a lot to do with racing in general and getting everything going. But we're going to do a race for him right there. And then, like I said, when we run our crates each week, we are AAS sanctioned. So you'll get points going towards your American crate stuff right there, guys. I'm still working on some other things, man. Just trying to get as many races as we can, but like I said, we don't want to kill everybody with them. I don't want to kill them every week. I'd like to have them come every other week if we can get that done.
Yeah. I understand that struggle for sure. So, well, some big events there you talked about coming up. Looking forward to it. Like I said, I haven't been there in a long time. I think I was still in high school, if I remember right, when I went to. That's been a long time ago, man. I hate to say it, golly. But yeah, it's been a while. I'd love to get back down there at some point this year. And Billy Moore he's talked to us about coming down there and doing a show somewhere there locally, and I think we might try to work that out at some point too. That would be a lot of fun because there's a big fan base down there, and that would help you out as well. So
come on down whenever you all. Like I said, like the other promoter said, man. Holler at me. I'll help y'all out. Guys, love to have y'all up top running that jaw, man. You got to talk about I get it. I forgot to mention. I'm gonna mention it right now if that's okay.
Sure.
August 16th is the day before the Butter Bowl. So that's
okay.
You know what I mean? So and Bill's gonna come help me from Richmond. I can't say his last name, man.
Rapinos.
I butcher it every time I say it. But he's gonna come down and just kind of help us get everything. We're trying to work together out there, man. Have a Friday night deal, so some of those cars can come make them some money, and then travel right on down the road and go make them some more money down there.
Yeah. That's a good back to back little, and then the Ultimate Heart of America Series also got that swing there with Thunder Mountain, Rockcastle, and then they're going to Paducah like we talked about earlier. So then back to back with that race and the Butterball. So that'll be a whole lot of fun for everybody. A fun little weekend stretch there. So really cool.
Cool, man.
A lot of good races going on in the state this year. I can't wait.
Yeah. Fun. Gonna be fun times for sure. Well, Donnie, thank you so much for joining us on here. Reach out to us anytime if we can help you with anything. We'll
definitely will, guys. That merch stuff, man. I've got my merch coming, man. You can kind of see we got a little bit of stuff going right here.
I like that.
But we got some more stuff coming, man. We'd love to have it on y'all site too, man. Like you said, we all got to work together, man. Like a big puzzle.
Like a big old puzzle. That's the way it fits. That's right. Yeah,
yes,
we'll do it. Well, sounds good. We'll get with you on that too and get that on there.
Holler at me sometime. Appreciate you all.
Sounds good. See you, buddy.
See you.
All right, there we go. First time ever here on Dirt Racing on the Bluegrass Live. Donnie Adams with Mountain Motor Complex. He's a fun guy, man. Like,
Yeah.
he just, like, I could. Yeah, I mean, it's already 9 o'clock. I'm already in trouble, but I could talk. Yeah, so but he's just a lot of fun. Love watching his videos and stuff. If you want to be entertained, make sure you follow Mountain Motor Complex, because I enjoy watching them just because I get a kick out of them and stuff too. So it's,
looking
fun.
forward to going there this year too. I've never been to Mountain Motor, so looking forward to making my first trip there in 24.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to making my first trip in a very long time. So can't wait to do that. Well, still a whole lot to get to. Let's bust through it, Wes. I've got to hurry. I've got to be in a big old hurry here. But we didn't even get to our Driver of the Week, presented by Wayne's Auto Repair. Had to skip over that to make sure we got to everybody. But let's go ahead and talk about our good buddy Colin Watson, driver of the number 55 Pro Late Model here in the state of Kentucky. We've had him on the show before, but I really wanted to bring him up this week and make him our Wayne's Auto Repair Driver of the Week, because he's currently deployed. He's over in Southwest Asia. He's deployed over there. I wrote a blog post about him earlier today. It's got some quotes and stuff in there, some cool information. Had a great time just talking to him about what he's doing over there, and what's going on with him. He talked about just how difficult it is being away from his friends and family, and he just feels like he's as you can only imagine, man, just separated from the people he loves and cares about, and he's close to his family. He and his wife have just been married a little bit over a year, and he's been away from her and will be until October of this year. And Collins just, gave him a hard time last year. We talked about the, C Puddin nickname, and, had some fun with that, and had some fun with him and Creed, and had a poll over who was going to win there at Richmond, and gave him a hard time. But Colin is just a tremendous dude.
He is. And, thank him for his service to our country, and him being a Campbellsville boy here, just a great guy, love his family to death, comes from a racing family. He's ready to get back to his family and get back to racing. I know I talked to him there right before he was deployed, and just ready for him to get back home and get back in that race car in the fall. So just a special young man, and like I said, we just thank him for his service.
Yeah, for sure. And be sure to check out that blog post. I posted it there, a link to it on our Dirt Racing and the Bluegrass Live Facebook page. It's on the Bluegrass Dirt Merch website, but you can find it there on our Facebook page. I think you'll enjoy it. It's got some, just like I said, just some quotes from him and a lot more information on there. So be sure to check that out. Well, let's go ahead and get to our Keltner Contracting Weekend Outlook. Wes, the off season is officially over. This weekend is absolutely jam-packed with dirt racing events across this state. Like, it's unbelievable. There was like one thing going on last weekend, very little happening, and then all of a sudden April 13th comes around, and here we go, man. It's showtime. So big weekend.
There's
ahead.
Just so much going on. Luckily, and this was not planned, I had fished a tournament last Saturday and got finished with it, and I actually ran to Brownstown and watched Northern All-Stars race up there. So that was great. But like you said, fast forward to this weekend, just got a lot going. Opening nights at Rock Castle, Lake Cumberland. I think I saw where Florence has a 3,000 to win super race. Mm-hmm. Lake Cumberland's got a 5,000 to win. American All-Stars. Got to go over there on Sunday afternoon and watch practice and get to talk to some of our drivers and watch practice. Annabeth and I got to do that. So that was great, and just getting ready for this to really kick in gear starting this weekend.
Yeah, I got to check out just a small part of a couple of the practice sessions up there at Rockcastle. They had those. It's close here to the house, and I was like in town this past Saturday, so stopped in there for a little bit and got to hang out with them some. They had some great practice sessions there. Had some gamblers races they threw in there, and that was really cool. I've never seen anybody do that before, but been kind of surprised how many people took part in that. Some really good races there. That Pro Late Model race, and the Harley Ellison was out front there. Of course, he just got that Pro Late Model. He looks really good in that thing, I'll say too. But
he looked good at practice at Lake Cumberland Sunday. He's looking good in that car.
Yeah, he does, and he led quite a bit of that Gamblers race there. Jimmy Smith was in it. Shane Irvin. Jimmy ended up getting him there at the end. I kept watching him. I thought he's going to mess up here coming off 4, and it's going to happen. And finally it did. But he's first laps in that car, and just man, I was like, wow, I wish I had that kind of talent. I wouldn't be doing a podcast, but. So that was good to see, and then they had some others there. I think, if I remember correctly, Brad Fields' boys. He's a kid. Led some of the Crown Vic race. I think Tyler Kelly I'm not sure about this. I could be totally wrong. I think he ended up winning it, or somebody else did. But anyway, so that was all just fun to watch. But yeah, so let's talk about the weekend outlook, Keltner Contracting weekend outlook coming up here. So let's make sure. I usually prepare for this. I totally dropped the ball and did not. I don't want to leave anybody out because there's a lot going on. We've got the 3,000 to win super late model race at Florence Speedway coming up this Saturday night. That'll be a big one. We've got, of course, 5,000 to win American All-Stars at Lake Cumberland Speedway. They're opening night this Saturday night, April 13th. We've got Rockcastle Speedway this Saturday night opening up, regular show, April 13th. What else? We got Mountain Motor, hopefully if the weather cooperates, Friday night. He mentioned Willard Speedway. Do you know if I had not have a chance to look? Does anybody know? Let us know. Willard Speedway running this weekend. I'm not certain about that one.
Yeah, he did mention that, but I'm not 100%. On that schedule.
Check out their Facebook page. You'll be able to find it on there. I know Mud Lick's running Saturday, opening up April 13th.
Just a busy day.
It really is, man. Like, it's unbelievable how much is going on all of a sudden right here, starting out this Saturday. But anyways, I think that just about covers it. I don't know if hopefully didn't leave anybody else, but I think that just about covers it. But just a huge weekend. Can't wait to get everything going. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is. Chris had mentioned Willard does plan to, depending on the weather. So they are racing on Saturday. So lots of racing going on. Go support a track across the state this weekend. Hopefully the weather cooperates and you can go watch some dirt fly somewhere across the state.
I know Saturday is going to be really, really 70s, maybe low 60s, I think is the last thing I saw. Sunny. So a lot of rain this week, but I think Saturday's going to be great. So perfect weather. Get out and support somebody because there's plenty going on this weekend, and it's been a long off season. So here we go. It's going to be just it is racing season, and I'm ready for it. So basketball's over. Somebody talked about basketball. I think it was Greg Miller. You thinking for the new UK coach?
Basketball's over.
I don't know. I would say Scott Drew. That'd be my guess, just because I know Mitch Barnhart's kind of had him number one on his list for a long time. I'm telling you, it's like this right here with me with Kentucky basketball and dirt racing. Man, they're even. I love them both, and it's been a tough couple of weeks for me. Just with Cal and I have the stance of John Calipari was tremendous for our basketball program. He is an excellent coach. The last several years, I don't know, man, what has happened. I think he needed a new start. I think Kentucky needed a new start, and he realized that. I hate to see him go. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've been sad today seeing. I knew it needed to happen. I know it did. It's great. It's a good thing it needed to happen. But seeing all this Arkansas stuff and this press conference and him in red, and it's just weird, man. It's just weird. I appreciate him, and I think one of these days he'll be celebrated unlike anyone else here at the University of Kentucky. He'll come back and we'll hang a banner, John Calipari banner in Rupp Arena, just like all the other greats. But excited about the future. Well, I don't know. Danny Hurley would be great, but that ain't gonna happen.
No, I don't see him leaving.
Yeah, me either. So probably Scott Drew, which I don't understand. People have, and I have to shut up because I have to end this show. But I don't understand. Like Kentucky fans, I see so many people saying we don't want Scott Drew, we want Bruce Pearl. I don't get that. If you took their two resumes and you laid them side by side, Bruce Pearl ain't even close to Scott Drew. I mean, Scott Drew been to the Final Four. He won a national championship at Baylor.
Won a national championship in 21, I believe.
And Bruce Pearl has never won a national championship. He's been to one Final Four. He beat Kentucky to get there. I mean, I think Scott Drew would be an excellent hire for Kentucky with what he's done at Baylor.
A fresh start, and I think ultimately that's what we need. That's what the team needs. And enough of that. Let's get to one other
thing. The DirtmanDiecast.com steak dinner pick'em challenge. Man, I've got a bad feeling about this year, the steak dinner pick'em challenge. I think I'm not off to a good start.
I took another point from you last weekend.
Yeah, you're up 2-0.
Well, see, that was weekend before last because last weekend you was on spring break.
Yeah.
So McDowell won at Tazewell, and I had picked him, and so I'll take another point. Is that 3-0?
Yeah, and it is 3-0. It's 2-0.
2, okay.
No, I ain't giving you an extra. You're trying to throw an extra. No, it's 2-0. But
I was thinking this is show number 3, so okay.
That's 2-0.
All right,
be trying to.
Yeah. You look back through your notes. You said you wasn't prepared. Double check those.
I wasn't prepared. Well, the sad part about it is Josh Rice, man, he was there. Great race there at Florence, and was had it and throwing it back and forth, and man,
Stricker passed him in lap traffic, and then the caution come out, and he passed him again in clean air, and that was just an awesome night. Big shout out to Adam Stricker for that victory. It was awesome. I was watching Crazy John Sandlin. Got to give him a shout out. I was watching him on my phone and watching the race at Tazewell on Flow on my TV. So that was a great night.
It was for sure. Well, let's go ahead and get to this week. I'm going to have 2 chances, man. I really hope I can some way, somehow pull this off and tie you up coming into next week's show. But let's go ahead and let's do 3,000 to win late models at Florence. And since I'm behind 2-0, I'll go ahead and go first. Again, a part of this whole thing is figuring out who's going to be where. Honestly, it's the toughest part. It's the part I hate about it. And I haven't done any research. I'm sure you probably have.
I haven't. I'll be honest with you. I haven't.
Well, I'm going to go first for Florence. I'm going to pick him again, man. No way we're going to go 3 events in, super late model events in at Florence Speedway, and Josh Rice ain't going to win. It's happening this Saturday night at Florence Speedway.
Okay. All right. Jumping Josh picks Josh Rice in the 11 car. and I'm going to go with Adam Stricker. I don't know if he'll be there or not, but I'm going with the 68 car again.
I'd say he probably will.
Well, he's hot right now. Had some misfortune there at Brownstown, but looked good all night and got in the feature, and had a disappointing end, but he's hot right now. He's found something in that ride and been looking really good. So I'm gonna take Stricker.
Yeah, I think that's a good pick. Because I don't know, man. Like I'm kind of worried about that because I think some of those guys will possibly could go to the Ultimate Heart of America race up there on Saturday night too. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, because that's at Paragon.
It is. Yeah.
I don't know.
It's hard to say. Well, I guess we'll have to see how it shakes out, and hopefully Adam Stricker goes to Paragon and Josh Rice goes to Florence, and I can get one there. So. All right, let's go Lake Cumberland Speedway 5,000 win American All-Star Series on Saturday night. I'll let you have first pick on that one.
First pick, because there are going to be so many good cars there, locally, regionally. Man, should be a barn burner. 5,000 to win. We watched some really, really good American All-Star races there last year at Lake Cumberland Speedway. But I'm going to go with the 257. I'm going to go with Skylar Marlar out of Winfield, Tennessee, to take the W.
Yeah, that's a good pick, and I know a lot of people were saying he looked good in practice there on Sunday. Of course, he's always tough everywhere in that 257 machine for sure.
He didn't practice on Sunday.
Or somewhat. I think maybe it was a private session or something I saw.
Yeah, it might have been.
He practiced at some point. I saw it.
He looked pretty good at Sugar Creek last weekend. That was their opening night for the American All-Star Series. Yeah, he had a pretty decent run. Well, but I'm gonna take Marlar. Really good season last year.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'm going to go with good old faithful trusty, my pick for the American All-Star Series at Lake Cumberland Speedway. It's going to be Zach Seiss, man. I mean, who else would it be? Don't you think would I not be? I'm just talking about myself here, okay? Personally, I would be crazy to not pick Zach Seiss. I mean, basically, he won the Steak Dinner Pick'em Challenge for me last year. So
yeah, you might as well buy him a cheeseburger and a Mountain Dew and a bag of chips, Saturday night, because you picked him every time, and I already had it wrote down. I knew who you was going to pick.
Yeah,
you had that 9 car. I mean, I was like, I ought to just say it, act like I'm gonna pick him.
I know. I couldn't believe you didn't.
Skyler.
Just
for spite. But,
just to steal my thunder. I knew you would. I was banking on it for sure.
I've got Skyler's gonna win Saturday night, so we're all good.
Well, that's a good pick. We'll see. I'm gonna be. It's gonna be 2-2 coming in here next week. Yeah,
that is a good pick.
We'll see. Be a good race.
Should be a really great night of racing all across the Bluegrass State. So definitely, fans, get out there and support these tracks. Everybody's chomping at the bit to get to racing, here locally across the state. So everybody go out and support a race somewhere. And we've named off a lot of races that y'all can attend. So looking forward to it.
That's right. Yep. Go check one out. We can't wait. It's finally here. Off season is over. It's racing season here in the Bluegrass State. So, well, it has been another fun show. We thank everybody for joining us on here. All the viewers that we had on here. We eclipsed the century mark here tonight for the first time on the show, Wes. So thank everybody for joining us. It's been a lot of fun. For the first time in 2024 here in the Bluegrass State, I can officially say we will see you at the races.
Y'all have a good night. Thanks for joining us.